Okay. Good evening. It is Thursday, October 20th. I apologize for the delay. I am trying to use the Screencastify as our recording device. I just want to confirm. I know that we have members in the SLT who has consented to video recording. We have quorum. We have all of the main members here. So happy Thursday. And of course, we will start with our chair, Miss Kathy Rodriguez, in the presentation. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and happy Thursday. We're almost there. It's almost Friday, okay? We welcome Ms. Figueroa. I know that Ms. Liz is not present, but Ms. Figueroa is here with us today, so thank you for joining us, okay? Just a reminder, our next meeting will be November 17th. That's the next one that's coming up. And I will give it away to Ms. Hunt.
So the first thing that I wanted to remind everyone, the CEP, thanks to you all from our September meeting, was submitted finally, and we're just waiting for final approval from the state. Other than that, thank you again. We have, as our committee of our school, started going through the plan and making sure that we're meeting our benchmarks. The first round of benchmarks, of course, as you know, is the beginning of year assessments. As we discussed last year, we are using the assessment iReady. It is one of the assessments that Dr. Lazada, as our district superintendent, uh, that we're using as a district. And so our students were administered the iReady exam, which is on the computer for students from kindergarten through fifth grade in both literacy and math. We also administer the Acadius assessments in math and reading, but those Acadians are for students in kindergarten through second grade. And what's different about these assessments, if some of the members may recall, it is done on a one-to-one correspondence. So it is done with one of our coaches or classroom teachers, and then we're asking questions with to our students, and it is done in a one-to-one manner. The first thing I wanted to show, I'm going to change my screen. Let me see if I can quickly share. I'm just going to bump you off a little bit, Miss. Hold on a second. Can everyone see the iReady?
Yes.
Okay, so here we are. This is the iReady exam for our students as a school. As you can see, the green with the lines, and of course, the green without the lines are for students who are either early on grade level through above grade level. Yellow indicates one grade level below. The red indicates two grade levels below. And of course, the red with the black line indicates three or more grade levels below. So we are at the percentage of 55% of our students in grades K through 5 are on grade level or above grade level. So that's a really big improvement from what we had last year at this time. So again, we're making some improvement. We're making a huge improvement on phonological awareness. We're seeing that where our students are doing well in identifying high frequency words. One of the areas that we're noticing that we don't have the same level of green, right, which is on grade level or above grade level, is in vocabulary. And I want to stop there and focus there, because one of the things that we are going to be doing in our school, which again, we discussed this even in our May and June planning for the CEP for this following school year, is that we were going to revisit a book study that we had through the advanced literacies with our teachers Uh, this is going to be done through our UFT Teacher Center. I am thankful to Miss Alliers and to Miss Upple who wrote the proposal and the grant was approved. And what this does is that we offer teachers per session to be a part of this cohort and learn more around the advanced literacies. And one of the reasons why we're going back and redoing this same book study, but with new staff members in our building and supporting those staff members who may not have been a part of the original book study, is because through the advanced literacies that we're working with in our district as a cohort as well, is we're going to be focusing as a district on three major pieces. The first piece, of course, is vocabulary and building academic vocabulary in our students across all grades, but we will be focusing as a group, because we're in different cohorts, on grades 3 and 5 as well. But again, this iReady is a coherent data that we're using as one measure for all the grades from kindergarten through fifth grade. After we do our first round of supporting teachers around vocabulary, and of course, more importantly, supporting our students around vocabulary, we're going to then go through an increasing student discourse. That is part of our instructional philosophy, which we'll go quickly as a reminder when we go through the slides. Our instructional philosophy, which is building argumentative discourse across all grades, and of course, having that transfer into our students' writing across all content areas. And then our last round of support would be in increasing writing for our students. We also did a first round of benchmarks for students in grades 3 through 5 as a school, and then, of course, as a cohort of 4 schools within our district, just to monitor and see what trends we're noticing that we want to build on for our students. And then, of course, support our teachers through professional learning that's going to trickle into our students and making sure that we're giving them that support. So I know I just said a big mouthful. I just want to stop here since just focusing on the reading right now. Any questions so far based on the data that you see? Any question, parents? I can't
Miss,
see you, so someone's going to have to say,
Sure. It's me. It's Liz.
hi, Liz.
I have a question.
Yes.
Now, looking at the numbers, what engagement is being made with the parents of the students that are at least one grade level below reading levels? Are the parents being notified that they are being assessed at that level so that parents can begin engagement, or what exactly is the plan?
So I'm glad that you said that. So one of the things that we did in our instructional cabinet, we have a new member in our literacy coach, being Deborah Sherman, and of course we have a new member, Maria Catanzariti, in as our mathematics coach. And there is a pre form letter that is done through iReady that is going to be individualized, that will be sent home to the parents. There's going to be one letter that's going to be a generalized letter, notifying the parents of their students' overall score, and then also notifying parents how the students can go into the iReady. They have their key, they know how to log in, because what we did also as a school is that the iReady is not just a form of just assessing diagnostically, but it aligns with some support. So if some students need more help within the the literature context, maybe it's in main idea or inferencing or finding the key statement, right? All the different components that fall within comprehension, that also deals with how do you identify vocabulary through context clues, right? All those different components, so that the teachers are assigning each individual student based on where they are individually these supports for them. So that letter is going to be going out soon before the parent teacher conference. And the reason for that is so that when you have your parent teacher conference, there is more of some conversation that you can have, right? So that you can say, this is what I have. I received it. Can you tell me more about it? As opposed to what I'm doing right now, sharing with you on the first time. So we want to make sure that the parents are informed prior to having the meetings. We do, though, I want to say, we still have Tuesday parent engagement from 3:10 to 3:45, I think it is, where parents can ask to speak with the teachers in advance. Of course, this way we can make sure you have a time slotted. We're also asking parents that for whatever reason, if you need to speak to or want to arrange an appointment with the teacher during the school day, it may be easier to communicate directly with Miss Figueroa, who helps schedule the parent meetings. But I can say that some of the meetings have commenced, but we are not expecting it to commence until after the parent teacher conference, because that's in 2 weeks, right? And so we wanted to make sure that we have trained the teachers. And so that was another cycle that we had to do. We had a consultant from iReady themselves come in and work with our teachers during their common planning time and talk about, well, how are we analyzing? Now that we have this data, what does this mean? How can we make sure that we're driving instruction that's specific to each individual student and not looking at cohorts? So you see the data on top. It says 8 students that are above grade level, 23 students that are an early grade level, 58 students who are 2 grade levels below. We're not sending out one fits all for all 58 students. The beauty is that with the consultant, that they're explaining to the teachers how we can individualize the support for them. And so that's another reason for the delay, right? That didn't occur until last week. And so we don't want a conversation to be scheduled until we ourselves are well versed on how we can communicate with you with respect to the data. And then, of course, more importantly, what are we doing to individualize attention for your child? And so that's where we are, and that's the reason for the delay. I do think Ms. Contanza, our math coach, is on there. Um, do you want to add a little bit as to what kind of what happened behind the scenes as to the support for teachers in order to make sure that we're meeting the needs of each student, and how we're going to roll that out?
Yes, hi. So what we're doing is we're working collaboratively with the staff development committee, and we're looking